Hey everyone, welcome to my community readings for collective healing, where I give free readings to whoever joins. Um, I am going to ask that you come on camera with me if you join, so can't wait till you join. And if no one joins, then I'll do a reading for the collective. Um, and we'll just flow with it. If you're watching the replay or if you're just joining, my name is Cristal Valenzuela and I am a multidimensional medium. I empower femmes of color to I empower femmes of color and their allies to live with purpose, confidence, and integrity through grounded spirituality. I do these readings to show people what is available for them. If you hear a noise in the background, it's my kid sitting in the corner playing with his tablet with mommy in the office. A little bit about my background is I come from my last career. I was a commercial banker. I worked for that company for 15 years. I was always really good at organizing and finding processes to make things more efficient. And that was my wheelhouse. I enjoyed math. I did very well in math growing up. And I was always very right brain. And when it came to spirituality, when it came to religion, it was not my jam. Growing up, I grew up in Catholic church and I was terrified. I'm also Filipina, and growing up in a Filipino Catholic household, I was taught to be very scared of ghosts, to be scared of God in general. And prior to getting into my own spiritual journey, I was very scared. Hi, Intuitive Insight Consulting. So when I finally got into psychic development or my spiritual journey, it was really empowering. The more I learned, it was very much the more you know, or knowledge is power. The more I learned, the less scared I was. And what I came to realize is that all spirit, treat them like people. They're like people. They have feelings. Some of them have feelings. But spirit, they feel, and we interact with them, and the way we treat them is just like how you treat people. And what I came to realize is that even what we know as hauntings and ghosts and the scary spirits, those are spirits, what you might call malintention spirits. Those are spirits with trauma. They are spirits that they passed from traumatic experiences, and they carry that trauma into their consciousness into the afterlife. So when you're around a ghost, when you're around a spirit that feels like it's a haunting, just remember that they're spirits that have simply gone through trauma, and they need healing too. Spirits need healing too. Not all spirits are good and not all spirits are bad. And that was really empowering, and it was really humanizing. It helped me see spirits in a different light that made me feel more comfortable. And so I went down this path of just getting very curious about connecting with spirit in general and being able to communicate with it and listen to it. And in doing so, you're listening to the universe. So it was a very eye-opening experience. And yeah, it's fun. Yeah, it could be really entertaining, but it's also so powerful, and it's wisdom. It's evolutionary knowledge. And when you realize that you've always had this connection, you've always had this information at your fingertips, how will you use it? And so the way that I started to use it, like, I did it out of curiosity. It was 100% a hobby in the beginning. And then when I realized how helpful these readings were for other people in their healing and process, or even as it helped them be brave and take bold action and take risks, I realized I could use this in any direction with any intention. And so with that realization came responsibility, and I had to ask myself, like, what do I want to see more of in the world? And that's how I landed on my mission to empower femmes of color and their allies to live with purpose, confidence, and integrity. Because I want to see more people thriving in this world that look like me, that are people of color, that are Filipina, that are owning their innate gifts, their innate abilities, that are living their purpose. And that is so intentional for me, because living your purpose, I see so many people doing what they were told to do. And that is also my story. I was doing things because I simply thought that that's what I was supposed to do. And when you break out of that, like if you think you're happy, if you think you're happy doing what someone else is telling you to do, imagine how much happier you could feel and how much more fulfilling that would be if you were doing what called to your heart, what fulfilled your heart. And I know there are so many people out there that believe that you cannot do what you love and make money, but that is programming. That comes from programming that says that you have to suffer, you have to suffer to be successful, that things need to be complicated and they need to be difficult, but they don't have to be. Just like the entire world was going through an unlearning process as with regards to racial equity, like actually understanding what racial equity was last year, you can go through your own unlearning process of things can be easy. I choose easy. And that's really how energy works. Energy is always looking for the path of least resistance. And that's why sometimes we end up on wacky journeys and you're like, I don't know where the heck this is leading me, but I'm gonna flow with it. Okay, so if you'd like a reading, you're in luck because you are the one person here. So if you'd like a reading, request to be on my video and I'll bring you on. Otherwise, I'm gonna do a reading for the collective. Okay. So I just wrote out my newsletter for November the other day, actually last night, and I was feeling into what the energy of November is going to be all about. And let's hone in on what these next 2 weeks are going to be about. So as I feel into the energy of the collective, the next 2 weeks, it's going to feel tough. It's going to feel hard. But how you show up for the challenges and the detours and how you show up for the tough parts are what make the difference, because life is all about ebbs and flows. Those are the mountains and the valleys. Like if you went on a hike and you knew it was going to ascend a mountain, would you be complaining about it going up? Because you chose this hike, you chose this path, and you knew the journey that it was going to take to get up there. And the reason why you wanted to go up there was for the journey, because you wanted to take this path, and also for the view that greets you at the end. So all along the way, this was your decision, this was your choice, and you intentionally chose it. So would you complain about it? And that's life. When you're coming up against something difficult, you continue to go on. You continue on that path because you know that on the other side that there is an end to the challenge. There is an end to the challenge. There is an end to the struggle. There is an end to the tension, the pain, the resistance, all of it. You know that there's more waiting for you on the other side. And so how can you meet those challenges and meet those I don't like calling it struggles because we're trying to change the energy here. So when it comes to taking that journey, and I'm thinking about this hike that I did a couple months ago, and it was really hard, and I didn't realize what I was getting myself into. It was at high altitude. I was moving really slow. I didn't know how long it was, so I had no idea if I was near the middle or towards the end. And it was hot. It was in the middle of summer here in Southern California. And the terrain was pretty rocky. So there were times where I felt like I was getting seasick kind of because I wasn't walking on solid ground. And it's this feeling that you just have to pace yourself, stop and take a moment to pause and appreciate the environment. Because there were so many times, like, I realized on that hike that I don't do hikes just to get to the end. I do it for the beautiful journey. And I went hiking with my sister, and she was probably so annoyed with me because I talk so much. I have all these questions. I get so inspired by the nature, and I'm so awestruck by nature too. I'm staring at it. I'm appreciating it. I'm loving on it. I'm just like soaking it in. And even though that hike was hard as fuck, let's be honest, I loved it. And I think about, actually, ever since I did it, because I was ill prepared. Like, I didn't eat breakfast. I didn't bring food with me. It took us at least 8 hours to complete it. Maybe a little less. But I think about doing it again and going through it and being prepared so that I can be fully present and available and not have to worry about, like, am I going to get dehydrated? Am I going to starve? Am I going to be able to make it down? And how different that experience could be. And I'm sharing that because these next 2 weeks are going to be rough. You're going to face challenges. You're going to be called to recommit. And that's kind of like a theme from my newsletter for November. I haven't sent it out, so if you want to get in on this newsletter, make sure that you subscribe through the link in my bio. But these next 2 weeks are going to call you to recommit to who you are, what you're doing, what purpose are you serving in your life. And that doesn't mean that you have to have some grandiose purpose, but have a clear intention. Like, are you here to feel more joy? Are you here to spread more love and compassion? Are you here to have more grace with yourself? Whatever it is that whatever intention or purpose that you are living right now, let it be a moment to recommit to yourself. Hey, Steph. I'm just thinking about, and I'm so glad that you jumped in, Steph, because I'm thinking about your video message that you left on Marco Polo and how you did this challenge, and it was your opportunity to recommit to your wellness. And that's exactly what I was talking about. Like, whatever it is that you've been working on for the last 18 months, these next 2 weeks are going to be an opportunity for you to recommit to it. So whether it be, being derailed from your goals or your target, or whether it be imposter syndrome, fear, self-doubt, whatever it is, don't fall into the black hole of negativity. Ask yourself, what is this trying to teach you right now? Because we're all going to be going through it together. And maybe if you're someone that typically isolates, or if you're someone that typically does things on your own, use this as an opportunity to find community, because we're all going through this together at the same time, to talk to other people and ask them, what are you recommitting yourself to? Or, this is what I'm going through right now, and I am recommitting myself to that purpose. And as I share that, what I'm thinking of that I am recommitting myself to is self-acceptance and inner peace, because that is a lifelong lesson. Self-acceptance and inner peace. You're always going to be, and I am always going to be, coming across people that say, what do you even do? And it could be simply out of curiosity, or maybe they really are like, what the hell is multidimensional medium? And that's okay. Like, they can do that. That's their path. But for me, it can't, if I'm truly committed to this, that can't be what derails me. So I'm doubling down in my commitment to continue to show up in spaces and proudly state who I am and what I do, and proudly share my mission, and proudly share my vision for the collective. Because I do believe that these mega corporations making billions, that we don't need them. That is the savior mentality, that someone needs to be big, someone needs to take responsibility for us and help us and give us jobs. Like, we actually don't need that. We have tons of capable human beings that are highly intelligent and highly creative. And I see the billionaires decreasing and the millionaires increasing, because the work is going down to the individual. We're going to see a lot more creatives, a lot more makers, a lot more, what do you call them? Craftsmen? Do you call them craftsmen? But we're going to see a lot more people doing the work at like the small business level, at the individual level. We're going to see a lot smaller teams, and we're going to see more people having that autonomy over their life. You don't have to be a coach. You don't have to be a coach to own a business. There are so many things that I bet you are so creative about that you can create a business around simply your passions. So, I mean, case in point, YouTube creators, like, they're not coaching anyone. They're simply creating content. It's entertainment. Do we all need to be entertainers? No. But you have your own special gift that you're sharing with the world, and that's what it's all about. Okay. If anyone wants a reading, I feel like that was the end of the transmission for the collective. So if you guys are just joining, make sure to catch the replay. I'll have it posted in my feed. But if you guys want a reading, just request to be on video and I'll bring you on. And I'll probably have enough time for one person. And if not, I also do live streams on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch every third Thursday, and you could join me there if you want a reading. But I'm actually going to get rid of these Instagram lives in favor of those. And super exciting news, I'm going to ditch Facebook. I'm creating a network outside of Facebook, and I'm really excited for it because I don't want to contribute to the doom scrolling. And so I'll be focused on that network and putting my content there first, and everything else is going to come second. And it's going to be free. So if you guys want to join, and you want to join in a space where you don't find yourself hooked into it, like, I'm not about that life. That's what I'm doing. So, all right. Okay. Excuse me, energetic clearing. I feel like that was the end of the collective reading, but I felt called to pull a card. So here, Four of Pentacles. This is from the Golden Thread Tarot deck. Is that 4? No, that's 10. My bad. I just looked at the top. So 10 of Pentacles, which is very fitting for what I just shared, because it's about living your blueprint. It's about living your blueprint and finding abundance through living your blueprint, and it's not just living your, not just finding abundance, it's finding abundance through your passion. Because abundance isn't just money. Yeah, this card is about money, but it's the freaking tree of life, and there's like a blueprint, a fingerprint in the background. And the tree of life is about you, your soul, being grounded, and also being what connects the ground, the earth, this very 3D existence, to the universe and the heavens and the higher dimensions. So this is about you being the bridge between both, and through that bridge finding abundance, which is through living your passion and your purpose. So yes. All right. Well, if no one wants a reading, thanks so much for joining, guys. And you can catch the replay in my IGTV. Thank you, and I love you guys. Have a wonderful day. How do I end this thing?